I'm Camelia, and this is KiniNews. It's far from a good evening or a good day. In a devastating mishap during a rehearsal for the Royal Malaysian Navy's 90th anniversary celebration, two armed forces helicopters collided mid-air in Lumut, Perak today, leaving 10 dead.
Tragedy struck as two armed forces helicopters collided mid-air during a rehearsal session for the Royal Malaysian Navy's 90th anniversary celebration in Lumut, Perak this morning. The collision involved a Eurocopter Fennec and an AgustaWestland AW139 Maritime Operations helicopter. Earlier reports from the Perak Fire and Rescue Department indicate at least 7 fatalities, with efforts underway to rescue 4 others from one of the helicopters. Shocking footage of the collision and the subsequent crash is circulating on social media, depicting the harrowing moment the helicopters plummeted to the ground. The AW139 helicopter crashed into the staircase of the TLDM stadium, while the other chopper landed in the TLDM Sports Complex swimming pool.
The Prime Minister conveyed his condolence to the victims' families, and the armed forces has assured that a full investigation will take place over the fatal incident.
The armed forces will initiate an investigation into the helicopter collision in Lumut, Perak, forming an inquiry board for the purpose. Armed Forces Chief Muhammad Abdul Rahman expressed his condolences to the victims' families. Speaking to reporters at the launch of the Combat Shooting Club at Combat Base in Kuala Lumpur, he expressed his deep sorrow over such a tragic event.
Of course lah, bila tragedi macam ni berlaku, kita memang sangat sedih. It's rather unfortunate, and also takziah kepada semua mangsa yang terlibat. Tapi tunggu Menhan, biar Menhan bagi statement dulu ya.
The collision, which involved 2 naval helicopters during a rehearsal session at the Royal Malaysian Navy Stadium, claimed the lives of all 10 individuals on board. Meanwhile, in a separate event, Defence Minister Muhammad Khalid Nordin mentioned that discussions are underway regarding whether to proceed with the Naval Day celebrations in light of the tragic incident. Khalid will also visit the crash scene and has advised the public not to spread videos of the collision out of respect for the victims' families and to refrain from disturbing the investigation process.
Najib's defense shakes up the courtroom, claiming all 25 1MDB charges are all wrong.
The Kuala Lumpur High Court heard a bold assertion from Najib Abdul Razak's lead defense counsel, Muhammad Shafee Abdullah, stating that the 25 1MDB criminal charges against Najib are all wrong. During today's 2.27 billion ringgit 1MDB graft trial, Shafee raised concerns about the legality of the charges, comprising 4 abuse of power charges and 21 money laundering counts. Shafee informed trial judge Colin Lawrence Sequeira about the defense team's plan to challenge the charges' legality during oral submissions scheduled towards the end of the prosecution's case. The trial, ongoing since 2019, awaits the prosecution's closure before moving to the oral submission stage, where both sides will sum up arguments based on presented evidence. Shafee stressed that a significant aspect of these submissions would be the assertion that the charges are flawed due to the issues of duplicity and multiplicity. Duplicity concerns mentioning multiple offences in a single charge, which is legally prohibited. Multiplicity, on the other hand, involves charging a single offence in more than one count, violating the principle of double jeopardy, where an accused is prosecuted multiple times for the same alleged offence. As the trial before Judge Sequeira continues today, Najib faces 4 counts of abuse of power and 21 counts of money laundering, involving 2.27 billion ringgit from 1MDB.
PAS Youth paints a bleak picture for both BN and Harapan coalitions, predicting their simultaneous downfall in the forthcoming by-election.
PAS Youth predicts a grim fate for both BN and Pakatan Harapan in the upcoming Kuala Kubu Baru by-election, foreseeing them dying together. Chief Afnan Hamimi Taib Azamuddin said this is due to what they deem as UMNO's power abuse disease spreading to its coalition partners. He highlighted the decline in good governance, suggesting that Harapan is succumbing to the same issues. With UMNO's recent electoral setbacks viewed as a sign of its downfall, Afnan urged disgruntled members to support the Perikatan Nasional candidate as a remedy against the party's leadership woes. Afnan also accused UMNO of abusing its power during its administration, alleging that the majority of civil servants who once supported the party rejected it in recent elections. He claimed UMNO misused government agencies and machinery for its own benefit, leading to a loss of respect for the party among civil servants. According to Afnan, this disregard for civil servants and failure to differentiate between party and government affairs resulted in the erosion of the original functions of government agencies. More than 40,000 eligible voters will determine the fate of the state seat in the upcoming by-election on May 11th.
The KKB by-election campaign may not have officially started, but the psychological warfare seems to have begun. PN's election director unveils a strategic gambit aimed at intensifying rifts among government parties.
Perikatan Nasional aims to leverage the upcoming Kuala Kubu Baru by-election to further strain the already tense relationships among government parties, according to PN's election director, Muhammad Sanusi Noor. Sanusi candidly stated PN's intention to exploit the existing cracked relationship between MCA, MIC and Pakatan Harapan during a press briefing after the PN leadership meeting in Kuala Lumpur. He described this approach as a typical political maneuver. Both MCA and MIC, members of the BN coalition within the current unity government led by Harapan, have opted not to support Pakatan Harapan in the by-election, underscoring deeper divisions within the coalition. Despite initial reports, Pakatan Harapan chairperson Anwar Ibrahim refuted claims regarding MIC's decision. Regarding PN's candidate selection for the by-election, Sanusi, also the Kedah Menteri Besar, stated they would defer the decision to the coalition's top leadership.
In a public exchange of words, former PKR Vice President N. Surendran takes a swipe at the party's ethical standing, prompting a sharp response from PKR's Deputy Secretary General, Dr. Satya. Let's watch the drama unfold.
PKR Deputy Secretary General Dr. Satya Prakash Nadarajan has hit out at former PKR Vice President N. Surendran. This was over the latter's remark that PKR is now morally dead. Satya said it is strange when individuals like Surendran talk about morality. He questioned where the morality went when Surendran became Azmin's lawyer after he and several PKR MPs betrayed the people's mandate through the Sheraton move. He also suggested that Surendran continue his struggle together with Azmin in Bersatu. Commenting further, Satya claimed that Surendran's criticism were often biased. He pointed out Surendran did not criticize Azmin and his team when they announced the exit of PKR until the fall of the Pakatan Harapan government in 2020. He added that it seems that what Surendran said is correct, where parties are using PKR for personal gain. Previously, Surendran said while PKR had for more than 2 decades talked about reforms, the situation has changed ever since they came into power and formed the government. He said for 25 years, PKR promised reform, but when in power, there was none, only excuses. Surendran added that many characters fought for what they believed in and faced the risk of imprisonment to enable PKR to come to power.
Spread positivity by joining our Muhibah story photo and essay campaign by April 30th. Selected stories will be featured on Malaysia Kini and contributors will receive a free 1-month subscription. Let's build a better Malaysia together. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.